A couple bitcoins. Hold up on my Nakamoto.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Blockchain Dynamics, show number 6.
Yes, indeed. And it's nice to be here.
Yep, we're always happy to be here. We're happy to be up to our big number 6th show. 6 straight weeks of the podcast, and we're going to keep doing them.
Yep. It's a nice, this is like the one time pretty much that Brando and I get to hang out guaranteed too.
Yeah, seriously, true.
It's because we're just busy. So, we were, while we're busy, we're also always trading Bitcoins and shit.
Oh yeah, gotta be trading them coins. Gotta trade those shit coins, gotta trade those Bitcoins.
This week, I've still been mining that ORLY coin this entire time.
You're still mining? Oh, since its launch, basically? You must have how many ORLY?
Actually, only like 250,000.
Oh my god, that's awesome, though. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's just with one graphics card over that period of time, basically.
Is the dev still posting in that thread?
Occasionally, yeah.
Really? Nice. It's funny that they never... It's like that person allegedly paid to have them listed on Yobit, but then Yobit never did, so it's hard to say what actually happened there.
It sounded like... he ended up getting his money back.
Really? Did Yobit just decide not to list the coin? That's weird.
No, it was like there was some sort of technical error, and then by the time he got the money back, they had taken so long to respond with the support that he was kind of like, I don't really want to give you the money again to be listed.
Oh, right. Well, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, but maybe someday it'll be listed somewhere.
Oh, definitely. I feel like it's got to get listed eventually. If the coin is out there and people are and there's community, it'll get listed. That's really funny. I can't believe you're still mining that. That's awesome.
Yep. That computer over there is mining it.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And then I've been mining STEEM as well with a virtual box on another computer.
I meant to ask you if you'd gotten up on STEEM.
Yep.
That's
I managed
awesome.
to get coins twice. Like, I still don't quite understand how it works. So I entered the queue, and then while you're in the queue, you get to some point, and then you get rewarded the coins. And so that happened to me twice in the last week, I guess, with this really pretty crummy little VM that I had set up. So
that's cool.
I think I'm going to try
CPU?
Yes. So I think I'm going to try to get a second computer. I'm going to actually try to get a hardware system with Linux installed going. And
I would
get a second one.
I set up a Linux box like 2 months ago when I started getting into the bot trading, and I have no regrets.
It would be interesting to see how much better mining it does.
I bet it'll be a lot better. I have a GPU potentially you could use, but anyway.
I don't think that will help for this at this point.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah. But I've just been mining DigixDAO this week. I know I mentioned I was mining it last week. It's been doing really good. The price has pretty much doubled since last week.
Nice.
But the block rewards have dropped a lot. So at the end of the day, my return on that was really not too much better than Bitcoin, but still nice to be mining something.
Yeah. Nice to keep the house warm, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As
Got to
the
do
summer
something.
comes on.
You got to do something with those miners. Got to. Other than that, I've mostly been doing a lot of trading. Obviously, this you've probably heard about this PEPE. They rebranded it to Memetic.
Yep.
Which the whole coin kind of came into clarity for me at that point. Like, as though obviously they planned from square one to do this rebrand essentially, and it's kind of a new take on the old trick of where you start out with a crappy announcement and then make a really flashy one like a week later. In this case, it's kind of you start out with a fringe coin that people aren't going to take too seriously, and then you try and rebrand into something more serious. I ended up rebuying at like 1,500 once they announced it because it was obvious that something was going to happen there. But I'm curious, like, now where do they go with it? They got the Bittrex listing. Are they gonna what can you do? What can you do with this theme besides just?
Well, there was some technological piece that I saw they were claiming. What was that?
I didn't see. I'm not sure. Maybe we should check that out.
Yeah, give it a quick look. I think it's some sort of database, of course, but I don't know what it does. Can't remember. I saw it in like the C-cex troll box or something, so I might not know what I'm talking about.
You can always trust the C-cex troll box, but sometimes they're onto something. I mean, that's where they've been hyping this coin the most. They've been hyping it non-stop in the C-cex troll box. But anyway, we'll move on. We'll get back to that.
Cool.
One other thing I got into this week. I mentioned last week that I was buying Neos again.
Oh yeah.
And I ended up just out of pretty much pure dumb luck, Neos decided to spike like 5x this week.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I'm happy on that. I had a sell order. I originally bought Neos like almost a year ago
Oh.
at like 2,500, and then I just like I put a sell order in at 3,000. That was kind of my strategy back then, is I would just buy and try and like put a sell at 20% up or whatever, and
Sure.
wait for it to cash out. And I kind of forgot about it, and then I came back like 6 months later and was like, oh crap, this sell order's still here, and Neos is worth only 500 or whatever. So I just decided to let it ride, and then finally, hilariously, like months and months later, this sell order filled. It might be the oldest sell order I've ever had fill, I think. 10 months.
Nice.
That's a long time. I don't
That's
know.
a long time to leave it on the books. Yeah.
But other than that, I traded. I pretty much failed to trade Digibyte and Doge successfully. I tried to do a little swing trading there and ended up with a tiny loss. Nothing too bad.
Yeah. That was this week
Yep.
specifically. Oh,
Yep.
nice. Yeah, I just bought some Ethereum.
Oh, nice. Ethereum looks interesting right now because the volume is way down,
Yeah.
and so that kind of tells you that something is about to happen.
Well, it's definitely not going to stay in this like 27, 28 range forever.
Yeah.
So it's going to go down or up.
Exactly. I think it's obviously building to a big change at this point. If I was doing that kind of trade, I would probably sell if it dropped below like 23 maybe.
Yeah,
But
I most
otherwise-
likely will as well if that
Otherwise,
happens.
I would just ride it because I think it's probably going to break out upwards at this point too. We'll see.
Yeah. Been kind of watching those pumps on Yobit still, but they've all been so silly. I don't even know of any that are of particular interest to me. I did like I've still been watching Postcoin and VIP. VIP kind of was getting pumped. I'm still holding on to that airdrop.
Oh, nice. You still have the airdrop. How many coins was the airdrop on that again?
60 something thousand.
60,000. That's pretty fucking
Yeah, that's
good,
like
man.
0.06 at 100 Satoshi. It was over that.
That's awesome, dude. That's way cool. Yeah, wow. VIP is way up right now. I
But
didn't
like
see
I've said
just how
about
much it
my,
was up.
like, when people give me free coins, I kind of just tend to keep them.
Well, yeah.
Quite
I
a
mean,
lot.
I mean,
don't
why
care.
not? I don't. I mean, there might be a point if it's like 500 Satoshi or something where you start to think like,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
or with Decred, obviously, we both sold our Decred airdrops right away.
Oh, yeah, well, that was just absurd.
I mean, that's just so much money. You gotta take the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did buy a little Destiny. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's looking solid. They're doing. I really like how they came up with the distribution for this one. They did a POW, a proof of work, a short proof of work, with a regular mining algorithm, so that it could kind of be distributed conventionally with rentals and home mining gear, and then they switched it to the Expanse blockchain. So they distributed with regular POW that everyone has access to, and then they switched over to Expanse kind of for the development of the coin, which I think is really cool. I don't know if I trust for there to be really any actual real development on the coin, or if it's just going to be a pump and dump. But either way, I think the market looks really strong right now. So I went ahead and bought in on Destiny in the low 20,000 range.
Oh, that's cool. And, like, I wish I could just quit talking about Warp for a week, but it was hilarious because
What's going on?
Shape Twist made some really cryptic Twitter posts, finally. It was, like, enough communication that the price went up a couple thousand Satoshi. I thought that was
Oh,
pretty
really?
funny. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's just,
That's
like,
funny.
got the market hanging on his every word.
What's the price at now? Do you know?
Around 10K.
Oh, man. So that's... If Warp hits the floor around 10K, I mean, that's a pretty strong sign.
Yeah.
As far as going forward, it might still be months plus before it really takes off, but for it to hold a floor that high would be pretty impressive.
Yeah. Anyways, it's pretty funny.
Nice, that's awesome.
The saga continues.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like this, we've been in this super high frenzy cycle of altcoins for so long that there's actually a ton of stuff going on this week, but it feels like a slow week just because there's nothing completely insane happening.
Yeah. It's almost business as usual at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just a few huge pumps here. Cora, Redcoin. I wonder if anything else had a huge pump this week. I saw Cora and Redcoin go way up.
IOC's doing good still.
IOC is still doing strong. There's this coin Voxels on Bittrex. That's
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
What's that? Was that an IPO? What's that about?
I don't know much about it. I'm
Did we cover that one?
No. Definitely didn't. I don't know much about it at all. I just saw how straight up it went.
Yeah, there's something going on here. Let's check it out. Voxels launched November 3 of 2015. It's a virtual reality themed. Interesting.
It rings a bell. Like, I kind of remember its launch.
I mean, I'm looking at this
but
OP, and
it didn't like. It seemed insincere to me. Like so many crypto promises. Like, I don't see their actual connection to virtual reality whatsoever.
Yeah, it's got all of
from what I remember.
It's got all of the classic kind of weird red flags for an IPO post. It's got like team photos everywhere. Was it an IPO? I don't know if it was an IPO.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
It's got team photos
but
everywhere.
It's pretty awesome when it gets pumped.
Screenshots of content that they probably didn't create, or maybe they did. If they did, that would be incredible. So, I guess we'll have to.
It's so we're so distrustful.
Yeah, well, you've been in the game this long. You see that 90% of these coins, or 95%, are just are completely fake. So it'd be totally awesome to see what they actually do with it. But it's also true that the coins that have been delivering in huge ways. So
yeah,
and
virtual reality is pretty cool segment of something coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
I've seen that Pornhub has virtual reality porn now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that changes everything.
Well, pretty much.
Did you notice that Piggy coin is up this week?
No, the new Piggy.
Did they rebrand it?
That's just how it's listed on Poloniex, I noticed.
Oh, yeah, it's way spiked up from like up into 70. Buy orders at 60 Satoshi
Sweet.
right now.
I actually think I bought a little bit of that not too long ago.
Oh, nice. Well, you made the right move. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just anything and everything seems to be pumping these days.
Yeah, especially the old stuff.
Yeah, seriously.
Old stuff on Poloniex, like, just be patient, it seems like. And be smart, too. I mean,
yeah.
I'm still not buying it while things are going up, pretty much.
Yeah, in general.
But when things are correcting, it seems like they're maybe holding their prices better or longer. I don't know exactly. It seems easier to make money now than it was. What else came out?
Let's see. Let's check out our new coins list. The new coins, new posts of the week. This was not a promising week for crypto launches, I would say, but as always, you got to keep your eye on what's out there.
Yeah.
The first thing that came out was Lutetium. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
It kind of this coin is even hard to explain. It has a really ridiculous premise of it's 100% pre-mine because you wanted to save power. One of my favorite excuses for like having a ridiculous pre-mine is to make it an energy efficient coin. But then he says he's going to distribute it to people who buy cloud mining shares, which has got to be one of the biggest red flags that has ever existed in crypto. So it's 100% pre-mine with cloud mining, and that's supposed to somehow be energy efficient. I don't know.
I guess doesn't sound like you're wasting any energy.
Yeah, you're not wasting energy because there's no mining going on. You're just sending this guy bitcoins or whatever, basically. Well, I guess that's true. So Lutetium, I'm not impressed, but
no.
There are people posting in it.
But at least it isn't hurting the environment.
Yeah,
specifically.
Yeah, at least it's not. At least it's not polluting. Thank God. That's funny. The next one that came out was SunWukong coin.
Yeah.
Their tagline here: just another monkey coin, but it is a king.
Nice, dude.
So,
this picture at the bottom is badass. I wonder what that's from.
Yeah.
Hellfire. What's that?
Yeah. Where did they get this?
It's pretty cool.
I bet it's Warhammer.
Mm.
Warhammer has a lot of stuff like that.
Well, I like it.
This coin is it's like a super fast distribution with instant proof of stake. So that just kind of tells you that it's going to be really, really good for the people who are mining right away.
Oh,
and really tough for people who come in later to get into it. I don't think it's been exchange listed yet.
It looks like it only got 2 pages going, huh? Not a lot of posting.
That's normal for something that doesn't get listed early, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm surprised that some of the stuff isn't getting listed. This is a coin that I would have definitely been really happy to mine if I'd seen it, in the first hour that it came out. But
yeah.
As it is, I'll just wait for it to hit the exchange and get dumped if I want to see if I want to buy back in, essentially.
Did you see that one post that ended up in the announcement section about like a Scrypt miner.
Yeah, a new Scrypt ASIC.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that people are even still buying Scrypt ASICs at this point. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just noticed that was a Scrypt coin. It made me think of it. Like,
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
that's it's kind of interesting. I can't believe that people are gonna sell their old ones and buy new ones.
They're ASICs?
Yeah, don't you think?
Was that post offering to exchange them or something?
No, but there was a comment that kind of said that was what one person was gonna do. I'm
Oh.
sure he's not alone.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's a good way. That's a good way to make money with ASICs, is because often if you just buy an ASIC and try and run it, it's often really hard to get an ROI, because by the time the difficulties and everything else go up too fast for you to actually finish closing out the payment. So one good way to make money on an ASIC is to buy it, like buy a used ASIC or buy an almost new one, and then run it for 6 months or a year, and then just sell it. And then a lot of times you can get pretty close to what you paid for the unit to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the profit of whatever you mined in that time. And that tends to be a lot better than just trying to ride an ASIC kind of into the ground, I think. And
Yeah,
if
that makes sense.
If you really want to make money on your ASICs. But also, I mean, sometimes it's fun just to keep them around. I'm probably gonna keep my ASIC till it burns up.
Well, if you had a super powerful Scrypt ASIC and you put it on a coin like this right away, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, that's one of the, I've always wanted to have like a 250 mega hash script or something just to crush these coins, but the cost has always been prohibitive.
Yeah. FlexonCoin
The
also
next-
came out.
Yeah, FlexonCoin. Flexon is a memory metal titanium that always returns to its original shape.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if that's supposed to be like a commodity tie-in or if it's just like an inspirational theme for this one, but this is kind of this is not really a real coin. It's a wallet builder situation. The Flexon, it's just a name, I guess. There's probably not ever going to be anything more than a name.
Memory metal titanium.
But it's got 3 pages. That's funny. It's got more pages than the coin that wasn't actually a coin.
I wonder what happens if you remove part of the matter that makes up the original shape.
It looks like
how
they've
could it retain it?
They've done.
I want to learn more about the Flexon.
I just noticed they did they cleaned up their announcement a bunch. Maybe this is one of those. Maybe it's a bait and switch. I might watch the difficulty on this one. It's always, you see something come out with a crappy announcement and then it becomes a good announcement.
It didn't have these little graphics and stuff before?
I don't think so.
Interesting. Does it have
Interesting.
some pools?
Let's find out.
Pool 2.
Mineblocks.noip.org. I've never mined on this pool, but they seem to be listing a lot of new coins.
Interesting. Well, it exists.
There it is. There you have it. It's real. FlexonCoin.
Speaking of real,
Real coin. Real is the real coin, and real is the currency of Brazil.
oh,
So they're trying to like ape that, I guess. The kind of the idea of copying a country currency and having that be a coin is a really old idea, and it doesn't usually get a lot of traffic these days. And this coin also doesn't really seem to be real. It's called real coin, but it does not appear to be real.
the face of Brazil.
Yep, coming soon, launching a revolutionary coin like our country. Innovations, nothing new. I like that they're not trying to hype up innovations that aren't there, I guess. So if the point of the coin was just like, this is real altcoin, we launched it, there's nothing new here, but it's there. That's actually a premise that
Do
I
you
can
see the
respect.
funny name of the dev on that one?
Sleeper coin?
Sleeper Coin Dev.
Sleeper coin dev. That is a funny name.
Yeah. Roxocoin.
Roxocoin. This one just looks ridiculous. It looks like the person put basically the least amount of effort a human could possibly put into a post.
I don't know, man. He's got those like equal signs. It almost makes a little chart there.
Yeah, he did make some ASCII graphics that aren't they aren't even
That's some
properly
effort.
they're not really properly synced up to each other. So he did get that, but it's funny that this line is great. This coin is a SHA-256, so you can use your CPU, GPU, and ASIC to mine. It's like, no, I think you can only use the ASIC, buddy. But
Good stuff.
so yeah, this is just probably won't ever get launched.
See ya never.
DigixDAO.
Oh man, this one was funny to me.
This has got to be the funniest launch of the week.
Mhm.
Do You checked out the OP?
Well, it popped up in a couple places. Some rooms I'm hanging out in, like
Nice.
The crypto world Slack was talking about it, and to me, it's pretty clear that if somebody raises that amount of money in that amount of time, it's certainly not natural.
Yeah, for those who don't know what happened, this guy launched a coin that the pretense of this is that it's an Ethereum token or whatever, but it's going to be gold-backed Ethereum token, and then there's going to be an IPO for them to get all the gold or whatever. But they claim to have had their $5 million IPO sell out in like 30 minutes. It's completely ridiculous.
So maybe it'll be really good for somebody that wasn't, like, let's say somebody wasn't in on it for like that's all I can say, and then they managed to get some inside that time period. That could actually end up being all right for them. But who knows what the hell's going on? Like, because that's not how like normal investment really occurs. Those must have been people that were waiting to buy that. Yeah,
exactly. They had been either, and they probably didn't really put in that much money either. Like, they probably, if there is a Bitcoin wallet that has that much in it, they were probably like recycling money into it somehow or something. It just seems really, this is a very fishy IPO, and there's nothing even in the post. The post is like one paragraph, and then all of a sudden, oh, we had a $5 million IPO that sold out instantly. Yeah.
Do you recognize that avatar? Remember that's from?
No.
It's from those fake David Blaine videos. Do you remember when we watched those?
That's funny. Well, I mean, that ups his credibility, but
his credibility goes up.
Yeah, definitely. For a stupid avatar, yeah, definitely. Nice. But not enough for me to buy into a $5 million IPO.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Let's see. The next coin that launched this week was Mingbi, which Mingbi is not even really a launch. It was suspected to either be a virus or a scam or nothing, but essentially there's nothing here. I don't even think the blockchain is working at this point. The next one after that was Panthercoin. This was like a Pink Panther themed coin, but then he just locked it instantly.
Oh.
Created the OP, locked it, and that's the last we saw of Panthercoin.
I saw that one pop up.
So I don't know what the idea is there. I don't have any insight into that one for you.
You know what? Somebody just told me that DigixDAO ICO was actually only 12 hours.
Really? 12 hours to sell out 5 million?
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy. That is so funny. I wonder if there's a Bitcoin address that's tied to that, or if it's just like an internal accounting system that they have that's like, bing! Yeah, guys, we got the 5 million totally.
Mm-hmm.
But if it does go to big exchanges, it'll be really funny to see what happens with such a...
yeah.
That's the shadiest launch we've seen in a while, so it'd be really funny to see. Like, that makes Lisk and Elastic look like...
super legit.
Yeah, exactly. By contrast, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And those coins might turn out to be legit. I'm really excited to see what happens with those other big IPOs.
I'm super excited for Lisk to start trading.
Yeah, definitely. Is it in a testnet phase or anything like that? Do you know where Lisk is at?
It is in a testnet phase.
Is it completely unique? I'm assuming it's a command line client situation. Or
yeah, at the moment it is.
Well, that's pretty damn cool. So, Lisk, I was really suspicious of at first, but it's seems to be really impressing a lot of people. Also, Slock. Slock is one that impressed me kind of right out of the gate, but that one seems to be doing really
interesting
well.
One.
All of them seem a lot more interesting than DigixDAO, that's for sure.
At least to me.
But who knows? What else did we have this week? Youcoin. This Youcoin reminds me of something that would launch like a year ago. It's just like hey, we made a blockchain. It's totally normal SHA blockchain. And sometimes there was a period when these coins actually would do pretty well, like Phalanx, you remember. And
yeah.
There were some coins that did well. This is what it reminds me of, but in this market, I don't know. It's launched by this Lutetium. Oh, he launched it for somebody. He launched it for use in Papa. But if you were to try and mine a coin like this, the way to do it is just wait for the difficulty to go to nothing, because it will. And then you're probably going to be waiting a long time for it to eventually show up on C-cex and pump for like 1 day.
That sounds maybe right.
It's not worth it at this point, I don't think. Did you look at Newbium at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I noticed it launch at least. It didn't stand out to me at the time.
I don't understand the distribution. It's an IPO, but for only 40% of the coin. But what happens to the other 60%? I don't think there's POW for it.
So where is it going or coming from?
Yeah, exactly. Do they ever say what is going to happen to the other 60% of the coins? I don't see it in here anywhere.
They got a video down here.
Well, I wonder if they even made the video.
Might have to check it out.
But there it is, Newbium. I always like to trash on IPOs when they first
Oh,
launch.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, first of all, we aren't trying to give investment advice.
Yeah, to be clear, yeah, I'm not making any investment recommendations here. I'm just kind of...
But secondly, it kind of seems like if it's your first week, we're probably going to be super critical.
Yeah, exactly. It's always good to... You have to be suspicious of the new coins because only... only 1 in 5 coins even makes it through the first week, probably.
It's sort of what it seems like.
So
maybe 2.
So there's Newbium. It's another IPO. If it's still doing something in a month, then maybe I'll give it a second look. But for now, I'm over it. Cypher Coin is the next coin that launched this week. Actually, not a launch. This is a takeover. Cypher Coin. It's kind of a weird takeover. They're like, oh, we're just bag holders. We kind of wish we could take over Cypher, but we're here. Cypher was a Yobit IPO a few months ago. And it's like one of those coins that's completely indistinguishable from every other Yobit IPO. So I'm not seeing anything to like on a Cypher takeover. It's on C-cex, I guess. So it does have that. It does have a good position on Yobit and C-cex. That's a good spot to be at. But I don't see any indication that there's going to be any new development for it. So
yeah. I mean, as long as the blockchain works and if you can start building up a community around that, I think it's not dead. It's something that can happen. It can take a gradual time, but Bitcoin is the most valuable coin. I always like to remember that you don't need to have a bunch of fancy features to be worth money.
Oh yeah, and one thing we've learned about futures is that they don't really get used. Most of the time, a coin launches like a big future, something. It just ends up being like, it's like something to sell people the coin with, but it's almost never something that actually gets used. That's one of the... I do have to compliment EDRCoin for the master nodes, even though they kind of turn the whole thing into a... makes the whole thing a little bit more scammy, I guess, than it could otherwise be. More of a pyramid scheme type structure.
Yeah.
It also has legitimately given people a reason to use this future. Like, there are a lot of masternodes out there doing what they're supposed to be doing. Whereas a lot of times when people just release a future on a coin, it just ends up getting completely unused.
Mm-hmm. Huh. I was looking up the birthday coins.
Yeah.
And this one actually isn't within the week that we're in, but since I see it anyway and it's called Cypher, that's pretty hilarious. I wonder if it's a different one. It's got to be, right? Yep, March 29th, 2015. Is that different or the same?
Cypher?
Yeah.
It's probably the same.
It's cyberpunk related. Cypherpunk cryptocurrency. I wonder if it's the same
No, I
one.
think that's different.
CYP?
Yeah, from March 2015. Yeah, that is the same one. Yep. That's the one that they're doing the takeover on.
Well, they're on the altcoin calendar on April 7th, 2015. Which
seriously?
would put them at 1 year old next week.
That's probably when they actually launched.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. Well, 1 year. So that's a... Now, this gives me some pause now. Maybe I might be more interested in this Cypher relaunch because for the coin to be around a year, keep a stable community, and then do a relaunch, there's a good chance that it's going to... have a spike. I see it was added to Bittrex at one point. So now I'm curious to see if it's delisted from Bittrex. Yep, looks like it is. That's no good. Cypher, come on, guys. That's a bit of a blunder, I think. If you're managed to get listed on Bittrex and you want to try to do a comeback, it's really smart to just do whatever you have to do to keep the volume up.
It's not even expensive.
Yeah, it's not that hard to keep your volume up to stay on Bittrex, so just keep riding that out. And then by the time you do relist, you're going to be in a really strong position to reestablish that market. But I'm not going to give up on the Cypher takeover just yet. Our next launch this week is Xavier coin.
Xavier.
This is a wallet builders. Another, I'm looking at this. What was the other coin that had the one that changed to the? It had a crappy announcement and then they made it look better.
Oh yeah, that was
Flexon,
Flexon,
right?
yeah.
This looks almost exactly the same. It's like the same header layout, the same kind of stuff. So that tells me that somebody's just launching coin after coin with this.
Wallet builders, basically.
Yeah, with this format. So very cynical towards these kind of generic just launch type coins.
I think that's the way to be. I mean, why wouldn't you be? Like, the best case scenario is that he's waiting for one where he gets the proper distribution or whatever, and then a few other people get in, or I don't know.
The bounties list on these crappy coins is always my favorite thing. Bounties website 3%, mobile wallet 4%. Is that like 4% of the blockchain?
I have no
4%
idea.
of the pre-mine, 4% of what? They don't ever say.
Just super ambiguous.
Yep, just something that exists. So Xavier coin is one that I'm going to stay away from. The next post this week was an attempt at a Fedora coin takeover.
Didn't we see that last week too?
Was there? Is it maybe this might be an ongoing?
I think we saw it at one point.
This might be an ongoing issue, but then like there was some other people trashing them, saying they weren't licensed to take over Fedora coin or something like.
Oh wow, that's
So-
interesting.
As though, I mean, that's a funny thing because anyone could do a takeover. It's like
I can't wait for something like that to go to court. Sometimes,
it couldn't go to court because nobody has any ownership over it. It's a blockchain, so nobody, it's just the miners. You can fork a blockchain and make your own blockchain.
Yeah, that's true. That doesn't really
And
prevent anybody.
nobody owns any aspect of a blockchain except for their private key, essentially. So, it's really funny to see people bickering over who controls the development of coins sometimes because it's just blockchains, and if you want to be on your own blockchain, then release a blockchain. And if you want to try and take control of a blockchain that exists, you do that through that's done through its mining system or whatever, right? So you could release a fork that just says that you're in charge if you want, or you can try and take control of the mining power or the staking power of the network. But other than that, it's just nobody gets to claim that they own it otherwise.
One that I didn't, I don't think the block had come yet, but I didn't follow up on that one last week. That was the Bitcoin hard fork. Did you look at that ever again?
No, I didn't check it out. It's probably, as always, if I had to guess, there's probably nothing going on, but we'll look into it.
Maybe next time. The next one was like the first April Fool's. Good old OC miner.
Yeah, OC miner posted a coin called Suprtherum, and I actually fell for this for like a good 10 seconds. I was like, oh shit, OC miners.
Nice.
OC miners so tired of these
I
crappy
probably
coins.
fell for it too, I'll admit. Like at first I was like, man, it could, like, is he actually posting a coin? That'd be pretty
Yeah, exactly.
cool.
I figured he had gotten so sick of all these crappy coins that he decided to launch his own, just as a joke, launch his own Ethereum clone. But it turns out it was completely a joke, just an April Fool's prank from OC miner. But for the record, if it
Good one.
launched, I wouldn't mind it.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people would have.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? Hell yeah.
And then DevilCoin came out.
DevilCoin, this one, it kind of it has a 3 billion supply. I think Not So Fast was the one who was quick to point that out, but it's like that's just too high for the market these days. Even if it doesn't really look like it's a very serious coin in any other way, but I think that you can't really launch a blockchain with 3 billion supply in this day and age.
Yeah.
The market's just, you think about that, to get one Satoshi on 3 billion supply, that's a 30 Bitcoin market cap. And that's pretty high for a new coin, really, of any kind. And then you get into that problem where two Satoshi is already a 60 Bitcoin market cap. So your coin essentially is going to have, it's going to be really hard for people to trade a coin that can only be 1 or 2 Satoshi. It's like, it's either a 100% swing or a 0% swing, essentially, in the value of your coin. And it creates a lot of pressure on the market for people to stack up sell orders to be the first one to get hit. And what ends up happening is that it just gets driven down below 1 Satoshi and never comes back. So unless you have a really huge IPO or huge development so that you can guarantee it's going to stay above the kind of the 100 Bitcoin range it would need for the market cap, then it doesn't have a chance.
What about if you just distributed that huge amount over a really long period of time?
That's fine, yeah. I mean, that's okay too. But you end up just with the same problem of, at some point in a coin's life, almost every coin drops below 100 Bitcoin or 30 Bitcoin market cap at some point. So, except for really huge coins. So eventually you're going to get into that death zone, and once you get in there, it's almost impossible to get out because you go below 1 Satoshi, and then your volume goes to 0, and there's no. At that point, if you did get on any major exchanges, you're going to get driven off. So that's why there's a reason that we see coins always launch with supplies in the millions these days, and it's just because the markets work better when you have a price that's in the range of higher than single digits at least.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So DevilCoin, I'm skeptical, and then 10% pre-mine for a signature campaign. So, you were saying that they could have a slow distribution, but now they're giving away 300 million coins instantly. That's going to create, at 1 Satoshi, that's 3 Bitcoins of sells on the market, like instantly, even if it's just at 1 Satoshi. That means someone has to buy 3 Bitcoins just to get this thing off the ground.
Cockcoin, huh?
Yeah, Cockcoin was the next one. Obviously, a very unsubtle theme there. He says the coin is supposed to be a joke and it's most likely to fail.
Nice.
So that's that's a good take. That's a good take from the developer.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
But the guy seemed almost sorry for launching it. It's like, oh, sorry that I released this blockchain, guys, but I did it.
He just wanted to say the word cock.
Yeah, I guess he just wanted to get that's probably it.
Clever.
He says it's a community-made coin by the community at CLD Mine. So maybe it's like an advertisement for that outfit,
Nice.
whoever those guys are. I don't know.
I saw that there's a Myriad video contest going on, which is kind of going through a little bit of a raise.
Myriad's been doing really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What's the price at now? Do you know?
Not at the moment. I
I'll
saw it
check
around in the 40s at some point.
Oh, back down to 30. A little bit of a
30s.
dip, but I mean
Yeah.
that's a huge spike from where it was at even a month ago. So it's cool to see Myriad coming back a little bit. It's got a long way to go to get, get back to where it was in its heyday, but it's looking solid right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting coin. Be fun to keep trading.
Definitely.
Did we mention that Mojo ICO? Can't remember.
We didn't. No, we didn't talk about it yet. What's going on with that?
That was a pretty brief one, and it raised quite a bit of money as well. I personally, it was too quick for me, but it's going to be traded on C-cex pretty soon, and actually might be a good one to trade, even if I didn't get in on the ICO, is how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I have a really hard time buying into any IPO that doesn't give me at least a week to kind of see what's happening with the coin, because
It's hard to make a decision in that.
well,
Yeah.
in the crypto world, it's kind of funny. A week's actually kind of a long time sometimes in the crypto world, because you see a good percentage of developers, even on IPO launches, that aren't even around for a week.
True.
So just to be able to watch the developer for that week and see the level of attention and kind of the attitude and everything can be really useful. Obviously, it's really easy for scam developers to, bullshit somebody for a week. That's not very hard.
But it's also easy for them to use the shortness to their advantage.
Yeah, exactly. But it's better than nothing. So I personally, I think 2 weeks is probably a good distribution time for an IPO. 2 weeks to a month. A month getting a little bit on the long side. But then again, serious projects usually have times that are even longer than that. So, you have to be suspicious of an IPO that is only a day or whatever.
But it'll be fun to trade, I think. And
Do you know where it's listed?
well, it's not yet.
Oh, no.
But it won the vote on C-cex.
Oh, that's right. That's an interesting. I mean, that's a good sign. I wonder if they just did it through the Bitcoin voting, probably.
I wasn't looking. Just
bet
noticed
that's
they won.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Mojo Coin.
Yep. And some coins, of course, got listed this week as well.
Yep, new coin listings. Revenue. We'll start with C-cex. Or C-cex. Revenue is the first coin that they listed. Seems like this coin
Another new one.
Yep, another new coin, and it seems like it's been holding really strong. So, I got to say that Revenue is definitely one to watch.
Yep, if you can find that right entry point,
C-cex also re-added BIOS, which I thought was
Right.
interesting. They restored the balances and stuff of people.
That's badass.
People always obviously leave coins on the exchanges long after they get delisted and those balances get lost. So it's funny to see them now relisting BIOS and restoring those balances. I think that's cool.
It's awesome, man.
And it's rare. It's really unusual. So BIOS, I think the relaunch was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they've been continuing to impress me week to week. This is one I'm definitely seriously considering buying back in on. Yeah.
Interesting.
And obviously they had that community listing of Mojo coin.
Right. And then on Safecex, SIB got listed, which I kind of remember the name of, but I certainly don't know a lot about. And then they also listed Unfed, which was another recent coin within the last 5 weeks or so.
My record of SIB, and this could be totally unfounded, so I'm sorry if I get this wrong, but I think it's one of those weird, like, super weighted distributions where it's like 99.9% of the coin is held by the dev or whatever, and then they just kind of make a fake market, like that hash profit coin and those
con coins.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few of those out. There's always a few of those out there, and my understanding is that SIB was one of those, but
con coin. K.
I could be totally wrong on that. I have not researched it. And then Unfed was a weird one that for them to list. I think that's just like, I think they just want to try and find coins that nobody else is trading, but it's really hard to actually find coins that nobody else is trading and that anybody actually wants to trade. So I don't know if I like this Unfed listing from Safecex, but I mean every coin deserves its shot at a market. So maybe the Unfed community is real and will show us something.
Yeah.
Bittrex actually listed a coin this week. Meme. It's hard. I'm kind of wondering if they listed this. Is it
a sponsored coin?
Let's check. Is it a sponsored coin? I don't see it in the list right now. Can you see a big list of all the
No,
sponsored
I'm not
coins?
sure you can. I always see like 3 at a time or something.
Yeah, they only show them to you 3 at a time. But, Meme got on Bittrex, so that tells you, a really good sign that this was a pump coin from the start, I guess.
Yep.
And it's definitely going to have a pump. The question is there any legs to it?
Or did it happen?
Yeah, or is this, or is it already happened now? It's really tough to say.
But it's I mean, like you said, I mean, you bought some.
Yeah, I mean, I'm holding it again still, so obviously I think the market's going to go up, but I'm really I'll be really surprised if I see this coin in 2 months still in development, I guess. But I'd be really happy if that was the case, and I'd have a lot of props for them if they do keep it up for that long.
Yeah, we'll have to look up whatever that technological piece was that they are going to introduce.
But it just feels like a short-term coin to me, and so it's funny that Bittrex, they've been on this big kick of we're only going to list these long-term coins, then they list a coin that's literally called Meme. But once again, they are claiming to develop some technology, so I'll give them some benefit of the doubt for now. And then if they do release that technology, I will be really impressed.
Sounds about right to me. And then on Yobit, Yobit kind of toned it down this week.
Yeah, really soft listings from Yobit this week. We have Blackjack,
which was that like 21,000% interest coin from last week.
It's really low volume right now, pretty low price. So it came out of the gate with 5,000 price. Eventually, the first time there was actually any volume, it dumped down to 250, and now it's sitting with bids at about 300. So if I'm a Blackjack holder, I'm taking anything I can get at this point because the high proof of stake rate is going to keep driving that down. And then kind of going back to what we said earlier, once it gets into the sub 10 Satoshi range, it's not going to be long before it's just completely done.
So what happens with like Redcoin, like we're talking about?
Redcoin doesn't have a super high proof of stake, so. But I mean, Redcoin has gotten pretty.
But
low.
it got in that range.
It did get pretty low, but it never. It's
3-4, right?
Yeah, but it never got below. It never got below 1 Satoshi. Essentially, it never got pushed off of the Bitcoin market.
Yeah.
That's essentially that's the death knell essentially. So if your coin, Redcoin is a really long running community coin. It was able to hold that market cap high enough. Despite being in the low price range, it was able to have a really, really strong floor at 3 Satoshi. And that is what allowed it to stay in the game, essentially.
Yeah.
And in another world, if Redcoin got dumped below 1 Satoshi for a while, for like more than a couple of weeks,
Could have been Litecoin in.
yeah, it could have been the end of Redcoin. But obviously that isn't what happened, and now Redcoin is doing really well. But the problem with a coin like Blackjack is it has 21,000%
Oh yeah,
interest.
well yeah. They're
So
quite the same.
once it gets below 10 Satoshi, it has almost no chance of coming back ever.
Mm-hmm. An EDRCoin also got listed on Yobit, which was from last week. It was the energy efficient coin.
The energy efficient coin, yeah, which just means proof of stake, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't even remember anymore. I think it's funny that
Let's check and see if it got volume. EDRCoin has 0.2 volume and a 234,000 sat price with a really solid floor. Let's see. Interesting. There might be a pump coming on this one. It looks a lot better than what I've seen probably from any of the Yobit listings last week or from the other one we talked about.
nice.
The market does. It's just got that flat.
Yeah, well, I mean, the premise doesn't have to be real, I suppose.
But I'm not sure. Do you remember how EDR was distributed? That would be the question for me. Is it distributed in a way that...
I don't remember offhand. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. No. It's not coming up in the search. But I think it was just mining.
Yeah, so for a coin that doesn't... Essentially, for a coin that doesn't have...
No, it couldn't have been with energy efficient, right?
Yeah, it couldn't be mining with energy efficient. I'm wondering if it's essentially a 100% pre-mine type situation or something else. But they also listed AsiaDigicoin on Yobit. I don't remember what AsiaDigicoin is about. I don't remember that one at all.
Okay, yeah, it's proof of stake. EDR is proof of stake. And, it was the one that said one EDR equals $1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, whoa, that's the price they have. I bet that price that it's sitting at is exactly $1. Huh. So they're sticking to the peg theme right now? But what good does that do a trader? That's my question now. Can you... Like, if the coin is pegged to $1, and they actually
Well, so
enforce
this is the line that I just still didn't understand from that OP.
Okay.
Making one transaction per day provides the user gains in a purse on 0.33% of the total located into the wallet.
So you make... Okay, so it's $1 peg, but you get a small daily interest if you make a transaction.
It's kind of what it sounds like.
0.33% per day, right?
Yep.
That could be... Oh, man, that's interesting. I mean, I'm sure you can just do fake transactions, right? So
I have no idea.
that might be one to play with, because if it's got a stable, supported market, it'd be fun to try is buy a little bit and then send the transaction, get the daily return, and then see if you can essentially do quick flips.
Yeah.
You know, as long as the market is stable. That's funny. Because 0.33% per day is not very bad. That gets you up to 2%, over 2% per week. For crypto standards, that's pretty low. Interesting. That's a tricky one. So it'll be fun to see what happens with that.
Well, and
Obviously,
it also hinges on the market remaining
on the peg,
at
on the peg.
$1.
And the only way to tell if the peg is going to be stable is to watch it, because you can't trust the developers, obviously. So,
Right.
It's been stable right now for 3 days, 4 days. So we'll have to give it a lot more time. And the liquidity on the market isn't too great either way, so you wouldn't be able to make a big return on it no matter what, right? Like, to get 2%, you put a Bitcoin in, that's 0.02, that's pretty nice. But
Can you buy that many right now?
yeah, you can't buy that many right
Oh.
now. So the market's not thick enough for you to actually take advantage of it.
Yeah. How much can I buy?
Well, you could actually buy 12, but it would be substantially more expensive.
What about at the dollar price?
Well, the bid is at 209,999, and the sell is at 210,000, but for a really small amount, 14,000 Bitcoin. So there's actually not any for sale.
Oh,
At a
okay.
good price.
Yeah.
The sale price is at that 234,000, which that might be that's probably what $1 is. But if they want to have the peg be $1, then they need to have the bid price be that high too. The bid price is at 210,000.
Yeah.
So
So maybe some more will show up for sale.
at right now it seems like they're just trying to trick people into buying these coins
Over $1.
But it seems like they're trying to trick people into buying them for $1 because they're not going to be able to sell them at that price.
Well, if they have all of them, fuck. And then AsiaDigicoin.
They listed AsiaDigicoin, and I guess we'll see what happens with AsiaDigicoin. I don't remember this one looking to be super high potential, but can you see what the volume is? 0.
Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere.
It has 0 volume, so AsiaDigicoin probably not going to be a strong listing. Like, where do they come? Why would they list AsiaDigicoin but not ORLY? That's funny. I mean, maybe they know the developer or something, but
yeah. And then I was looking up birthdays, like I said, and there wasn't any 1-year birthdays except for there was the one that's next week.
Yep.
That I mentioned, and then there actually aren't any for 2 years either. But there were some ones that I remembered. There was the Carpelli's coin, which we talked about.
Oh, nice.
Actually came out on March 30th.
Did it really?
2014.
That's awesome. I love Carpelli's coin, obviously.
And then
well, that's cool.
I remember when this H2O coin came out, followed the day after by Clean Water Coin.
Yep. Oh, man. Do you remember what happened to Clean Water Coin?
Mm-mm.
Clean Water Coin had an exploit. It had a glitch in the block reward code that caused the block reward to go from like 250 to 400,000 or something in just like randomly.
Really?
Yeah, and I remember I was I was around when it got discovered. The price changed, and we mined millions and millions and millions of these Clean Water coins, and then we mined them on IPO miner, I think, and then because we saw he had like an auto calculator that saw the reward spike that detected it. Mm-hmm. And we mined just a ridiculous amount of them. We dumped it down to, and not just us, there was tons of people mining it. We dumped it down to 3 Satoshi. And then I really regret doing that because I had assumed that the coin would be dead, that it just couldn't recover from this. But what eventually happened is they fixed the bug and they decided to honor the coins that were mined despite the bug. And the price ended up shooting way back up into the hundreds. And so I could have had like millions. I could have made a retarded amount on Clean Water Coin, and I ended up missing that opportunity. But
that was a long time ago too.
Yeah, that was a really long time ago. But I still remember it. That was a really fun, just kind of crazy story of how ridiculous crypto can be. Like,
yeah,
like anything can happen on these markets.
That was about it, man. Honestly, like I don't remember the other ones. For people that ever wonder, you can go to altcoincalendar.info and you can go back all the way.
Ages.
It goes back farther than they have coin listings. So.
Yep. It's really funny. And they don't have a complete record of the coins that got listed. You can also go back on Bitcoin Talk if you want.
Yeah, but it's harder to find their actual release dates with that because so many people do pre-announcements.
Yeah, and threads get deleted and moved and stuff. So it's not very reliable. But Altcoin Calendar does have a lot of old launches. So
especially between like January 2014 and now.
Yeah, especially. Yeah.
Although people don't put them on there as much anymore.
Yeah, I think they stopped. I think kind of in 2015-ish, that got a lot less used.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coins in 2015 that aren't listed on there.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know what to expect for next week.
Yep, there you have it. That's the week in crypto. It's been a really, like we said, it's been a really crazy week, but also a quiet week compared to just how crazy everything else has been.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm excited to see. I got really lucky on some of my buys this week, like with Neos. So I'm really excited to see where that goes. I'm really curious to see where our meme goes. Again, obviously there's something big going on there, whether it's on the down cycle of it or just about to break out completely.
Yeah.
It's been impossible to say essentially since this coin got launched.
Well, like I mentioned last week, I'm still in that IRC channel. Syntax has still not said anything.
Neos?
Oh yeah,
for
there's
Neos,
been like way more. Meme. Oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
I think Neos is already blowing up. It's the question: is it going to hold this floor?
Meme could blow up. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, exactly. That's definitely one I'm going to be watching over the next week, I guess.
But Neos, like you mentioned, your sells after a year's time.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so funny.
But like, I guess sorry that I got it wrong, but it's hilarious because we were talking about it last week as well. Is that like the developer hasn't said a word
Yeah,
Still.
he's still, but something's happening with Neos.
I just like that. It's funny.
So, but that can, I mean, coins get pumped when there's no development on them sometimes too, just because somebody has a bunch of coins and decides to pump it. So anything can happen in crypto.
Especially on Polonics.
Yeah, especially on a coin that's still on Polonics.
Well, we'll catch up with y'all next week.
Yep, thanks for listening, everybody. This has been Blockchain Dynamics show number 6. My name is Brandon Doge.
I'm Jukely.
This has been Error by Trial Radio.
And we're going to play this awesome song one more time. Because it's...
Yeah, it's our favorite crypto song.
Stuck a couple bitcoins.
Money, 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 though.
Hold up on my Nakamoto.